Hello, hello. We're back in Rooms of Wonder, one of Johanna's books. In fact, really a fun book. It's one of her newest. If you've not seen any of my other videos, I encourage you to go back and look at those. This is what we're going to work on today, though. Cogs, metal workings, and just what colors go well together where, and how to get them blended just right, how to pull the right ones, all of that kind of stuff. And it's just to show you that cogs do not have to be silver or gold. Okay? So, without further ado, let's get started. I am using my Imaginor pencils by Colorya, and I am going to turn the book so that we can zoom in a bit. And remember, if you take your phone and put your fingers here and then stretch on the picture of the video, you can zoom in on what I'm doing even further. So encourage you to do that if you need to see more. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. There, try to get my shadow out of the picture and yet stay in frame. Okay, let's go ahead and start with silver. To me, silver is one of the easiest. And so I take my lightest gray. This is light gray, 909. That's what I get for looking upside down, 909. So if you have any questions about warm gray, cool gray, French gray, there is a video on my channel about those. And you just need to search that. Just put in my name, Pam Proctor. It's all O's in Proctor. And then put in something about how do you figure out which grays, or just sift through my videos. It's not a video that was done a long time ago. It's fairly recent, so within like the last 3 months, I think. So next I'm going to 901. I believe this is elephant gray, but it would be your second gray. Actually, I'm going to do this a little different than usual. I'm going to go to the darkest, 977 charcoal. Now, because we are experimenting with different colors, you may decide that you don't want to color along and that you want to wait and color after you've watched through this once. So you can take notes while you're watching, or get some supplies ready, watch it, and then go back through and color with me, pausing when need be after you've seen it once. Just in case there's colors here that you don't like, then that gives you a chance to change them before you go straight to your book. So, and you can always just practice on typing paper or cardstock, no big deal. All right, so my lightest color was the center. Then this is my darkest. I came in and we're going to get really light along this edge so that the next gray can blend into it. Okay, because we're going to overlap where we're blending. So now we're going to go to our middle gray. And again, mine is 901 elephant gray. So if you're not using this set of pencils, then a good rule of thumb is look at your grays and just pick a light, medium, and dark. And then I'm also going to use black. Yeah, I am. And see, I'm just blending away at that, and then I'm going to get lighter as I cross into the lightest shade. Just get that, oh, that's what that line is. I have a little cutting mat underneath here from Dollar Tree, and it was putting that line right there. So I had to pull it over. I knew this was harder than it should be. It's like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Keep an eraser close by. If you get to where it's too dark too soon, erase it and go again. You've got the pencils right there. It's not hard to do. I'm going to come back in with my very first color and I'm going to blend. Just blend the hound out of that thing. Just blend it, blend it. Blending is merely the friction of the pencils going together from all these tiny circles and blending the colors. So it's not hard at all. That's kind of sloppy. One of my others looks much better. But anyway, then I'm going to come in with my black and I'm going to do just these little corner areas. Okay, just up in these little corners, just a bit. And get real light real quick because you don't want much of that. And then I will come back in with gel pens and do all these little rivets, screws, all those little extra things that are there. Okay, so that takes care of silver. All right, same thing applies whether you're doing a suit of armor, somebody's crown, whatever you're doing. Okay, let's go to the next color. I'm going to be doing a gold, a type of gold, 145 marmalade. All right, now when you're doing cogs like this, I have my light colors on these going one direction. Okay, I'm gonna have to get in the shadow for a minute. Look here, there's light shade here and here, here and here, here and here. See how they're all going this direction? So when I do light, I want to make sure that I'm doing the same thing here. So I'm doing my lightest here, and over here. So wherever you have your light source, do it the same on all these round cogs. Okay? All right, let's go back in. I'm going to sit back down. There we go. So I just wanted to point out, look at where you've got your reflective going. You don't want light on all of them and then suddenly this way and then suddenly put one going this way. It would look very awkward. Now, in order to make sure we get these even, that was my first shade. My darkest shade, right here, it's Coyote 852. It needs to be a brown that lends itself to the yellows. So some browns have a little more red in them. You don't want one of those. You want one that's more of a brown, has a little bit of yellow undertone. I am going to start very light. In fact, I'm going to push back on the pencil so that I cannot put a lot of pressure on this. Not yet, because it can get dark fast. Now, do you see where I went to put my darkest shade? It's opposite the lightest shade. And yeah, this is a little sloppy because I'm holding so far back on the pencil. All right, I'm going to come up on it some. So once I've got this, I need to go really light on the edges so that it'll blend out into the next color, because the next color is going to be lighter. So you've really got to get that light. And then right through here, through the middle of this, can be a little darker. Okay? Just make sure you're blending out. Then same thing over here. See, the light's here, the dark is going to be here, like a giant plus sign. And if you'll do the light and then the dark like this across from each other this way, then when you get ready to do your lighter shades, you'll have room for all your colors. That's why we're not doing from light to dark, because how do I know how much space to leave for that next color? And what if I'm using 4 colors one time, 5 one time, and 3 one time? Then it's going to really throw the whole thing off balance. So by going across, like what I just did, and then picking up the next colors and going, then it's a whole lot easier. Now I can go back to my next shade, Sunflower, 235. So I know that's going on both sides of the lightest shade, and I know it's going about half of that. Okay, it's going to do about half. And here, there's not as much space left as over here. I don't know, but it all works out in the end. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and start with this. Darker in the middle, lighter as I come out, lighter as I come out. So darker through the middle, lighter as I come out so that it blends, and lighter as I come out so it blends. Same thing on both sides here, okay? Right through here and over here. Same thing on this. And if we don't have time to do all the different colors, I will still tell you what colors I used, but you're going to see it's the same technique. Okay, my next color is Pumpkin Spice 722. This is more like a yellow ochre or a tannish yellow, depending on what pencils you're using. Okay, so you don't have to be using the pencils I'm using, but overlap those. Really start overlapping those colors. And you can see where my brown is a little dark there. That's where I would come in with an eraser and just get that out of there. Come back in with my second color, and then here's my third, and then put my dark back in. So, I mean, this is the real thing, y'all. I'm not trying to hide from you that I use an eraser in coloring. They're much better blended, and it still needs a little work, but I'm trying to get to all my colors. Okay. The thing is, you want to go from the light all the way around to dark, then repeat and go back around to light, back around to dark, back around to light. That's how you're really going to see that, that shine. And again, you have to remember I'm leaning across the table when I do these videos, so they're probably not the best. Now I am going to come back in with my brown, and I'm going to deepen right through the center, and then get a little lighter as I come out, just because that's not quite as dark as I wanted it. And see, across, it really should have been further up here, but it's a picture. So another reason for you to watch first. You can see where I made all the mistakes. The other thing too, when you're doing one of these, go ahead and do all of them all the way around. That way you know you're going to be more balanced in your coloring. Okay? So let's look at this next color. It's not really a brassy bronze, but it's just different. So I just pulled some shades. This is 718. This is apricot or apricot. Apricot? Apricot? We say apricot. Anywho, so I'm going to go through here with my lightest. Let me show you another way you can do this. Here's my lightest. So I can put in my lightest just kind of messily, put it in. Then I can go to my darkest, and this one's got a lot of shades, okay? So this is 847. And what color was this? Espresso. There you go. So a really dark brown. Okay, here. So across. Just going to be here. And remember how the dark didn't blend really good on the last one because I didn't get light enough, quick enough going out. So this time I'm staying really light and then darker in the middle. But then I'll get really light pretty quick coming out. Now, I'm not coloring these really good. That's what I said. I was going to show you another way that you can do this. You can kind of just block in your colors to make sure they all fit. And then go back and do your tweaking. Go back and pretty it up. Because we have to go back when we're blending anyway. So then my next shade, I'm going to go from light to dark now. Actually, I have 3 more shades, so I'm going to pick the one that goes in the middle of each of these. This is 812, and it's burnt ochre. So see if I go right in the middle, I know it's going to take up about that much space. So we're just blocking in how much space it's going to take. So this would be like a pumpkin. It's an orangey, but it's on the red side of orange, if that makes sense. Yeah, I know. Someday I need to do the difference between the reds and the blues. Okay, this is cinnamon, 822. This is going next to my dark. So this gets to take up this much space. And it happens to be where that spoke is. So I'm going to do the spoke too. Okay, over here, because it's the dark. And then over here. And look, it actually lined up at the spoke again. Hey, they don't always line up right. Okay, and then one more. It's my yellow. This is saffron, 725. And then this goes next to my light color, next to that first color we put in, because this is my second color if you go from light to dark. Oh, and it's here. Yeah, it's kind of there. It will be by the time we're finished. So now I know all my colors fit, okay? Now I can go back in and deepen them, freshen it up, really start blending. So this was my lightest. And then across is my lightest. Then was my yellow. My yellow. So here it is actually Monday, and so I thought I would go ahead. Wait, is it Monday or Tuesday? Oh my goodness, what day is it? You know, it's just, it all starts running together after a while, doesn't it? Looking at my calendar real quick. It's Monday. I was right. Okay. But like this week, right now, you could go out with a light jacket on and be okay. I'm looking for my third color. Here it is. But, oh my gosh, y'all, in a few days, it's going to be 10 degrees. Yeah, I'm serious. 10 degrees. Now, let me see something. I might have just gotten these two backwards. Nope, that's all right. So keep your pencils separate so that you know you're getting them in the right order. Let's see, this went next to the yellow. Next to that yellow. So like I'm saying, this is just another way that you can put your pencils in there if you're afraid of not having a space for all the colors that you've pulled. And you don't have to pull. I mean, I pulled 5 colors this time. That's a lot. But it's going to look pretty cool. Like I said, it's not really a bronze, but it's not really a, it's not really copper. It's just a pretty mix of color to me. And that's why I said at the very first, and I actually need to bring that in some more here. That's why I said at the first, your colors for cogs and stuff, they don't always have to be what we consider the color of a metal to be. You can play with it. In fact, I'm fixing to throw you for a loop on this one. I am going to take this cog and go over the whole thing with yellow. But first, I'm going to blend it with our lightest shade, that apricot. So I'm going to take this and blend all the way around. You know, a lot of times I use my lightest shade to blend my colors. Finish getting the white, that tooth out of the paper, and just blend around there. But then you're going to see how it looks different if I come in and go over the top of the whole thing with another color. It just changes it. It just changes the whole thing. And again, mine don't all match right now. My cogs don't, because I didn't do them all in the same sitting. If you'll do your cogs all at the same time when you're sitting down, it's going to be a whole lot easier to make sure that they're more balanced. But look how this changes. Look how it kind of perks up if I put yellow over the top. You see that? Just kind of changes the feel of it. It's not drastic, it's just a little, but it does change it. It brightens it. Okay, so there's that one, and that's not near as bright as the others I did. I'll go back and tweak that some more later. Let me give you a list of other colors. The cogs right here. Gotta stand up, make sure I'm in. Yes, that right there. My lightest shade, I used 401, which is shamrock green. So it's a type of almost like a tealy turquoise. And then I used 339, which is fern. And then I used 332, which is emerald. Okay, and I did the same thing. Colors across, and then the darker, and then the medium, because there's only 3 pencils this time, so it's a whole lot easier. So the lighter, and you'll blend. Then is this the darkest? Sometimes it's hard to tell because they're so close. Then the darkest goes this way. And blend those, blend it out right. Don't do as I'm doing. I will fix mine. Then this is my medium shade. Okay, but color them pretty and blend. Okay, so that's that one. And then this right here, I wanted to show you how I did that. My lightest is 308, and I came in and put this in, and then I did some on this end. Okay, next color was, look, it's one of my favorite pencils, $3.46. So like that was that moss, pear? It's pear. Okay, and then this one I believe is moss, and so it's going to come up and blend in, and then this way and blend in, and here. Then I'm going to take 356, which is forest green, and come down this way. Isn't that cool? I love these greens together. So a yellowy green, and then like an army colored green. There's my timer. I actually set a timer this time. And then like your foresty green. But I liked that for that. And that could be a good cog color. Okay, and then this other one right here. The colors I used were 637, which is blood orange, so a reddish orange, okay? And then the next shade was rose red, 628, and that could just be a red, okay? And then my last color was 611, which is deep magenta, and you could actually just use like a burgundy. But any colors, y'all. Okay, so tell me if you found this helpful at all. I know it was very different than what we're used to doing, but I thought it was just very interesting too. So there you go. There you have it. And yeah, so spread the word. Videos found here. Post your questions. If there's something you'd like to see done, please put it down in the comments. I read my comments. I do get back to you. I am a member of the group Coloring Books Keep It Clean. And we do a lot of stuff over there. It's a lot of fun too. So I guess that's it for now. So if I don't get back to you before Christmas, Merry Christmas. Have a good one. You know, just celebrate. Be safe. Hug your family, keep them close. Tell your friends what they mean to you. And I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye.